So every altercation goes through various stages and ranges, right? So right now we're going to look at just the very outbreak of an altercation. You know, we're in each other's face, you know, we're arguing, you know, whatever, you know, we'll call this, you know, posturing or peacocking, right? So we're at this range, okay? And obviously, you know, at this point my hands need to be up, you know, whether I'm rubbing my hands together, I'm talking, you know, with my hands, you know, whatever I'm doing. You know, there are just way too many videos out there of people in each other's faces like this and going to sleep. And obviously they deserve it. Okay, so keep your hands up. You know, and then it's going to escalate from talking to a shove. Okay, and that's the context we're going to work with. But we're going to use one of our connection drills to actually address this, right? So a double wrist grab. Okay, so one of our drills involves creating a small rise and then triangulating the force that way. Let's break that down into a striking frame. Okay, this motion rolling through, and then, like I said, triangulating the force, directing from outside to inside, and concentrating everything right into the center line. Okay, well, let's make that striking, like I said. So instead of being here, it's now going to be here. So again, we're in this range, and he shoves me right on my chest, right? And give me force, you know, right? So we're talking, you know, whatever. He goes to shove me, and I'm here. This sets me right up for that triangulation of force. Okay, so in motion, one more time. We're here, 1, So another thing to look at too with these connection drills is we're building different attributes. We're understanding how to generate power. We're understanding how to use the entire body as a single cohesive unit, right? I mean, realistically speaking, when he grabs onto me, okay, if I apply force with force, nothing's going to happen. So we're learning how to generate force softly. We're learning how to generate force using the entire connected body here, okay? But who says he has to be grabbing me to execute that movement? Okay, so I'm here, right? What if it's a fist? Okay, unlike a boxer's hook punch, okay, where we're here, okay, a lot of shoulder, I mean, yes, you're rotating the hips, okay? What if I can generate that short power here? Okay, so we're in an altercation. He throws a jab and I slip, right? Instead of having to roll the shoulder, come over top, okay? Or even go into the body, if I can generate power, stay there. If I can generate power from here and this distance, as opposed to having to wind up with all this torque, okay? So again, so he throws that jab, and here, if I can just generate this power from here, I've also got Aiki, right? So like if you grab a double wrist grab, right? So we've got this rising energy. And what I was talking about before, realistically speaking, I barreled out into, don't let me do anything, right? How much force am I really having to generate in order to pull this off, right? Being able to use the entire body to generate that force. Okay, so we're here, okay? So he throws this jab. That same amount of force right into his floating ribs, or even if I can slip this under, get under his jaw, right? We'll switch angles for you. We're here, we slip this. Here's my Aiki. Being able to generate short power from there. Being able to completely uproot. Or it's, so like I said, so your connection drills are about creating openings, creating opportunities. Well, this is the same thing. It's that same Aiki, just in a striking frame, right? So he's going to shuffle in with a jab, and he's not going to leave it there for you. Okay, so he's going to bring this back. So we're in here. Here's my Aiki, to slip right under, create this uprooting, right? The drill we worked earlier, okay, getting a hook punch from Yoko Hazushi, right? So we're pulling together. Here's my off balance, creating tension through here. Now I can rocket this hook punch through the kidneys. And it doesn't matter if this arm is relaxed. It doesn't matter if the arm is tight. When I come through, I'm going to get that to straighten up. And then Aiki Sage, rising and falling. So let's look at Aiki Sage now from our cross wrist grab, right? So we're here. Being able to uproot, okay, to set the weight back, arch the body, and create a wave to complete my throw. Let's take that and put it into a striking frame. Okay, so he guards up, right? So again, I'm going to slip this jab, right? Well, here's my Aiki Sage. I'm going to make contact here, and that same dropping energy, the same going through. I'm not hitting at the point of contact and going to the spine and down. Okay, that same wave of force. So in motion, we're here, get the hips to drop. And then we'll go back to Yoko Hazushi, making this punch to the temple now, because I've changed the level. I can come through here. And then let's just say Kokyo Nage. Okay, I shift from the hips. I can complete that throw. Or, let's say I start my throw, and as a last-ditch effort, he goes to rocket this through. I'm already right here. I can deflect that through. So in motion, right? Okay, so we're here. 1, 2. Okay, I start this. He throws that back. So I'm here, catch him with the elbow. And then I'm going to go back to my Yoko Hazushi with a little bit of Aiki Sage. So I've created this. I've stretched all this out, lots of tension. So now when I strike it, that's where we end up.